Well, Kyren, thank you for joining us today. Obviously, we're approaching a very busy time in the season now. How do you assess your campaign so far?
Yeah, it's been pretty consistent. A few quarterfinals, a few semi-finals, and yeah, I've made some big changes throughout this season already. I'm using a new cue since the second round of the UK Championships, and I'm still kind of finding things out about that cue, and yeah, I'm sort of enjoying my snooker at the minute, and sometimes it gives you a new challenge, so it can refocus the mind.
Well, absolutely. You mentioned there about the change of cue. Is there anything else that you've changed at all?
The hairstyle and the Mr. Miyagi tash, that's changed a couple of times. No, yeah, just kind of enjoying getting back on the road, really. We've just been to Berlin. We're looking at obviously heading out to other new destinations, which will be really good fun. So, yeah, just enjoying life, really.
Well, absolutely. And one big addition to your game, obviously, in recent times, obviously, your brother's been travelling around with you a lot. How crucial has he been in the process?
I've got to be careful what I say because he's playing pool in the next room. So, yeah, no, it's nice because I am one of those players that kind of keeps himself to themselves, and I don't really get involved with other players. So it was quite lonely, really, especially when I was traveling out to China, where I'd go to a hotel room, literally just stay there until my game, not really get out and see these amazing places that we visit on the snooker tour. So to obviously have him with me and we can get out and do that sort of thing at the same time, it just makes you enjoy tour life, a hell of a lot more.
I was going to say, because the people within the snooker circle will understand exactly what he does, because it's similar to Judd in a way with his brother, but people outside of the sport won't necessarily understand that side of things, but it does play a big part, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, definitely. When you're happy with your surroundings and kind of what you're doing off the table, that can impact what's going on the table. So yeah, if you can get that balance right, then you probably see in certain results how sort of beneficial that can be. So it's a really, really tough sport at times. So if you can enjoy it as much as you can at the same time, you're onto a winner.
So what role does he play then? What's like a typical role that he plays during a tournament for yourself?
It's kind of taking care of the off-table stuff. So we work on sort of trying to eat the right foods and simple little things like making sure we've got plenty of water. Yeah, obviously keeping fit together, trying to make the most of using gyms at hotels when they're available, and yeah, just taking care of all the background noise, and yeah, just obviously sort of keeping check of kind of what's going on in practice. We have like our own routines that we go through, and yeah, just having a chat at the intervals, and just keep things ticking over, really.
And it's just those minor details that make a heck of a difference, don't they?
Yeah, exactly. I think in sport nowadays, especially in snooker, everybody's looking for that extra 2%. And, if you can keep finding those extra 2%, whether it be with somebody helping you or, the person that is with you spotting something that might not necessarily have even thought about, that could be the difference between you turning a match around or, coming out as the loser.
Well, absolutely. And it sounds like you're nicely set up and nicely poised heading into the business end of the season now.
Yeah, it's been really busy, hasn't it? It's been great, to be honest. We went for a spell where, there wasn't really any tournaments after the British Open, and that was like torture for me. I like to be playing all the time. So, yeah, it's great to be back on the road, as I say, and it'd be good fun getting on a couple of aeroplanes again and traveling with the snooker queue to new destinations.
Well, definitely. And obviously the Crucible's a little bit down the line at the moment, but have you got any specific aims at all for this cluster of tournaments that are on the horizon?
My aim is just to obviously win everything that I play in. For me, I have like my own checklist of what I sort of need to be doing to give myself the best chance. So, as we've seen, in a few tournaments this season, especially in my case, with what happened in the UK Championships with Luca, that semi-final, I don't think anybody could have played any better than what Luca did. So sometimes you just have to kind of step back, have a little bit of perspective on things, and just accept that sometimes, the sort of better person on the day is going to win. It's one of those games where, that can happen. It doesn't matter about your ranking or anything like that. Sometimes somebody can just turn up and just buzz on the day. And like I say, if I can keep going through the things that I know that work for me, that's all I can do really. And if I, tick them all off, your kind of your fitness, your diet, your practice, the things you work on technically, if I can do those all right all of the time, that's all I can ask of myself really.
Well, exactly. And you mentioned that UK semi-final against Luca, and obviously, you would have loved to have come through that, gone on to lift the trophy, of course. But do you see that as sort of a positive in a way, the fact that players are having to perform at their absolute peak in order to beat you, as was the case that day?
Yeah, I think I have to take positives from it really, and I've heard a lot of players saying it after they have played me that that's how they feel. So I think that is a testament to sort of how my game has improved over the years. Probably in the past people would have thought, I can kind of, if I just turn up, I'm going to win. I was kind of a bit of a all or nothing player where I'd either go to a final or win the event or just bomb out in the first round. Whereas now I'm kind of always in the latter stages of pretty much most tournaments that I play in. And, I've just found my own little recipe for success that works for me personally. And as I said previously, if I can kind of stick to that checklist that I have, I always give myself that chance.
Well, definitely. And I know that it's a massive cliche, but the bottom line is if you keep putting yourself in those business ends of the tournaments, you are going to walk through the door eventually, aren't you?
Yeah, exactly. And that's what you have to keep telling yourself. For me, something my mum always says to me is, the journey on the way up, is a hell of a lot easier and a lot more fun than the journey of once you're there trying to hold on to it and kind of inevitably you are going to kind of fall down. It's just, a fact of sport and a fact of life. So yeah, for me, it's about kind of always trying different things and trying to find new focuses and new motivation within, whether it be certain minor changes. You have to be careful with that. But snooker's looking really, really healthy at the moment, and there seems to be a lot of new talent that is coming through, and the standards getting even higher. So I have to keep on my toes, really.